Well guys, we got the new frame. I totally forgot to film going to pick it up, but you guys didn't miss out on much. It's about -2 today, so I gotta get this thing off the trailer and into the shop. But yeah, overall it's pretty solid compared to the other one. We'll be able to get a better look at it once it thaws and get all the snow off. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Alright guys, so we're starting to get after this frame. What I'm starting with are these body mount holes. What we're doing here is cleaning up. Let me try and find an example. So a lot of them look like this. This one's gonna take, a lot more, but the idea is to put this washer over these holes, weld around it, so then it has a good mounting surface again. This one's obviously pretty good. So is this. So you get the idea. But what I'm doing here is, I'm grinding these down to bare metal. These rear ones needed quite a bit of work. Then what I'll do is I'll set it over it like that and then clean off this primer because it's not weld through primer. But what I wanted is, because it's covering a lot of this material, I wanted to paint it or primer it first, just to try and avoid rust. I don't know how good this stuff is, but it says it's rust stop. We're gonna end up doing the whole frame in this rust stop primer, and from a prior project I had ordered some Summit chassis paint, so we'll end up using that. But yeah, that's it. I do have to, it's like this was an old race car frame. This is the frame I purchased, not the one that came off the car. So we're gonna have to cut these off here. And you can see they had some type of roll cage welded to the frame. So we'll cut that off, clean that up. And then once we get to the front, I'll end up disassembling everything, even back here, so then we can really paint the frame good. But I figured for all of this stuff, I might as well I can get after it as is. So yeah, I'll set you guys up and get after it. Alrighty, so I didn't want to film all of that because it was kind of repetitive, but we got all these washers welded in for these body mounts. Didn't go too bad, besides my shitty welding, but checked off the list. Now I'm gonna tackle, and I got the axle out from under it. Now we're gonna tackle this patch. So what I'm gonna do is I trace that, we're gonna cut that out, and then patch that in there, weld it up, and then we're gonna have to do one on the bottom too. And then I got one of these race car brackets that somebody had put in there. I got that off. I still got to get this one off. And then just those two. There and there. Then I can start wire wheeling and priming. But anyway, I'm going to get after it. Alrighty. Well, I think a little bit's changed since you guys saw this last, just because my phone died and it wasn't recording like I thought it was. But we got this patch buttoned up. I actually had to go back and, because I had some cracking, so I took the cutoff wheel and kind of made a slice along that crack, not all the way through. And then I ended up filling that back in. And then we got a majority of this primed. It's just kind of what I did last night towards the end. Put in a 10-hour shift yesterday on this thing. So I guess the plan now is I'm gonna go up and down the frame with this, probably until I get to about here, because then I gotta work on getting those off. But just to kind of split the work up, doing different things. But yeah, from here back, we'll get this cleaned up and primed, and then we'll get these off, and then kind of just keep making our way. And then once we get to the front end, then I'll kind of stop with the frame refurb and take this all apart so then we can get at everything. But yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of the day here we'll have the frame painted and yeah, ready for new parts. So I'm gonna have to start ordering all the suspension parts and brakes and everything, so then the chassis is complete. But anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so I got the frame primed up to the front. So far I'm really liking this stuff. I hope the longevity is there, but yeah, so far it seems to be doing pretty well how it's laying out. But now to get at the rest of the frame, I gotta disassemble the rest of this front end here. So I'm gonna knock that out, wire wheel the rest of the frame, blast that up with primer, and then from there we could start putting some chassis paint on it. Yeah, I'd like to have everything done tonight, so I'm gonna get back to it. All right, so I'm done priming. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out for just wire wheeling it and rattle canning primer onto it. Looks 10 times better. Not too shabby. So now I had ordered the Summit chassis paint for a square body I was doing, and then ended up not using it. So I figured might as well use it. Flat frame black. It had decent reviews. I just know you can't spray it over rust, so that was kind of the point of the rust primer. So anyway, I'm gonna set you guys up and get this thing coated. Well, I just finished up. I am really happy with how this turned out. Really nice. Pretty sweet. Now the next step is I gotta get these control arms disassembled, paint those. I'm kind of at the point where I need to start ordering parts now to put this chassis back together. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. I forget how many hours I have into it. I have it written down. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But I'll put that up in the corner here, as well as money spent. I appreciate it, and don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the journey.